Hello, everybody. It's 9:30. Another hour of chit chat. As you can see, just below here, we've got some special guests tonight, Mike and Yvonne. We'll be talking about the 90-day rule. I think it's going to be a lot of interest. A lot of people, especially the ones that are outside Spain at the moment, want to come on holiday or looking at property. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that's looking for property. But I'll go straight into it. So we've got a bit of a busy night. What I will say is now, guys, after the intro video, we're getting to talking about the 90-day thing. If you've got any questions and you want to ask Mike and Yvonne, because they come in a slightly different area to me, if you could ask the questions after 10 o'clock, you know what I do? 10 o'clock, I'll start going through the comments. Don't put the comments on just yet. We've got people still coming in. It's starting to go up a bit. We've got 26 now. That's good. So anyway, as always, I'll start off with the info. It's always worth checking out, guys, especially if you're thinking about coming to Spain, moving to Spain, buying property. Info. Always good to do research. One of the good sites that I always check out is the Citizens Advice Spain. It's on the internet. Very good. Like I said before, there's PDFs on there. You can download stuff about information. You can ask them as well, and it's free. The other one, obviously, for those guys that are applying for visas and that, the Spanish embassy in the UK, they got consulates dotted around the UK as well. Always worth checking out their sites. Obviously, the UK Gov site is another important one. Now, they got three categories, which is living in Spain, pretty important one, keeping up to date with all the latest news, what rules are, obviously to do with COVID. We've got the healthcare, another important one, especially people like me that's just gone on to, I've got my pension now, I've just applied, got my S1 sorted out, I've just got to go and get a health card now. I've got one already, but as always, you've got to keep updating things. And another important one, believe it or not, is check your passport. There's nothing worse being at the airport and they'll say, hang on, you've only got one page left, or you've overstayed your welcome, whatever. So yeah, check your passport on the Gov site. Very important. Another thing that Spain has put up quite recently is on the internet. It's called travelsafespain.com. Now, this gives you all the latest information, especially about people coming out to Spain and going back from Spain back to the UK or wherever, about obviously COVID tests and things like that. So it's worth checking them out. Two YouTube channels are also worth checking out. Obviously, the main one is Spain Speaks by Stuart, who's based in Madrid. He's been putting up videos virtually every day now. It's a bit about, obviously, about the COVID, but also about what the government's doing at the moment as well. And obviously daily news. And I've got a new one now, because they're down below here. This is Mike and Yvonne. Between the Lakes with Mike and Yvonne. Check their channel out. Now, they're based in Costa Blanca, a bit further up from me, next region up. Look, obviously a very popular area for a lot of expats. I mean, what we'll be talking about tonight mainly on the topics is about the 90-day rule. But before we get on to that, the Lobster. I'm trying to find where I've got the Lobster. Anyway, you can see the Lobster there. Yeah. Now, obviously, Lobster's been promoting me, and I have to promote them as well. But you get a special deal with Expat and Mazarron. If you want to do it, obviously, check out, I've got the wrong book here, haven't I? If you want to check out the deal that they're doing. Now, what it is, guys, is they will send you a free SIM card, and whatever deal you take out, they've got three deals. They've got small, medium, and large. And what I'm talking about, I believe, checking out it, and not everything else for them. It's a small deal, is you get 12 gig for €12, and that's including the IVA, well, the tax. And also, don't forget, it's not contracted. So you can cancel it anytime you want, but the first month will be free, but only if you phone this number. I will say it now, which is 711 000 711. And if you say Expat and Mazarron, they will send you on the free SIM card and you get the first month free, which is pretty good. But if you just phone up Lobster, you won't get that deal. So you got to say Expat and Mazarron, but on that number. So that's out of the way. Coffee fund. I've had nothing. I've had nothing the past week. Now, the coffee fund helps me go out taking videos. I mean, today I'll put up a video about the new James Bond that's come as a premiere, coming local for us. It's obviously based more for us people living here near Campersail and that. We're doing a premiere on the 1st of October. I checked out the cinema on that. But anyway, nothing for the coffee fund, but never mind. There's always next time. Don't forget the Expat and Mazarron merchandise. If you want to get a t-shirt or a polo shirt or even a mug. Can I put that on there? Yes. If you want to get a mug. Now, there is a link below this video and there's a link on my banner. So check that out as well, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do one of the questions now before we get into it. And that's from Emma and Bob. Now, they've been watching a live video I did, I think at the beginning of the week at the shopping centre. And what they were saying was we enjoyed the video on the shopping centre in Cartagena. Where is it exactly? So what I'm going to do, Bob and Emma, I know you're watching. We'll wrap this up now. So this is the map of coming into Cartagena, the town. Now this road here, I believe, yes, this road here is the A30 that comes into Cartagena from Murcia. Hopefully you can see my cursor. Now that's the shopping centre there. Now just down here is the main hospital in Cartagena. This is where we go. It's about an hour's drive from Campersail to the main hospital. And obviously down here is down the port. So it is on the outside of Cartagena, Emma and Bob. Hopefully that's been giving you some idea. Right, knock that off. Okay, what we're going to do now, come straight into the video, and then we'll see their special guests. We got 52 in the house, which is good. So let's get the video on. So we're here.
Hey.
Mike Yvonne. See, I've got the name right now.
Yes, well done.
Yvonne.
Well done, Sean.
Spell it with an E.
Yes, as I'm thinking it. Think of the E.
Yeah. I always say when I talk to you now, I always put E-V-O. So it's easy then.
He's got it now. He's fine.
He's got it. Yeah.
So guys, nice to see you. Now you did put up a video the other day where you was talking to me, so that's giving people an idea about myself. Now in a couple of weeks' time, I will be showing these two guys that I did an interview with to give you a little bit of history about them as well. But tonight we're talking about the 90-day rule because these guys, it applies to them more than it does me, obviously, because I'm a resident. But these guys are not residents. They've got a summer house here in Spain, and it has caused you a little bit of a problem on this last trip, hasn't it? We had to cut you because of cancellation of a plane.
Yes.
So I'll let you get into the 90-day thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we're the biggest victims. The people that have got holiday homes in Spain are going to be the biggest victims of this. Normal tourists and holiday people, they come for a month at the most, usually. Maybe it's usually 2 weeks, 1 week, 10 days, 14 days or something like that. It doesn't affect them at all because they're working. But when you've retired and you want to go for a long period of time, we'd like to. Last year we came for a 4-month stretch, didn't we?
Yeah.
But we can't do that now. We've got to work out when we're going to start the holiday and when we're going to finish it, the trip. So we've got a maximum of 90 days, and that's it. We've got to then go back out of the whole Schengen area, not just Spain, but out of France, out of the whole Schengen area, which is covered 26 countries in Europe. It's not like you can drive out to France and spend 90 days there and come back. You've got to go right back to the UK out of the Schengen. So it becomes quite difficult, and you've got to think about when you're going to go and when you're going to go back.
Yeah, if you want to go more than twice, if you say you want to go 3 times or 4 times, it's quite difficult to work it out so that you're not overlapping and overstaying your 90 days.
I think the easiest way to think about it from the way I've been thinking about it is 50-50. You can spend 6 months of the year in Spain, but you can only, if you spend 30 days, go out for 30 days, come back for 30 days, you can do it that way. So you have 30 days in, 30 days out, 30 days in, 30 days out. Or whatever period it is, it could be 2 months in, 2 months out, 2 months in, 2 months out.
So it's the same.
So you won't overrun, and the 180 days rolls from your first day. So it starts rolling from the first day you get here. So the maximum, because you've got 180, you can't go for more than 90, because that you would then run out of time to come back. So it's quite complicated, but it's manageable. We can manage, can't we? But it would be nice to go back to the way it was, but obviously we can't do that now.
Yeah, I think we've decided.
Sorry, because you've come over at the moment and you wanted to stay your 3 months, but you had to cancel one of your flights to return home was cancelled.
Yeah.
So you've kept it short. But I just wonder what would happen. Say you couldn't get a flight back, and you had to go accidentally over your limit.
Well, you would get either, I don't know whether it's a fine, to be honest. I don't know what they do, but I've heard that if you overstay your visa, and you want to say I wanted residency in a future day, I might be denied residency because I've made that mistake of going over and got fined and got caught by being over the 90 days. And that can jeopardize your whole future if you want to be a resident in Spain later on.
Yeah,
I mean, you definitely don't want to be doing it.
Yeah, I mean, when I checked on that, that's what it's saying, that you can be. What happens if you stay over your 90 days? You're subject to a fine. It doesn't say how much you're going to get fined. There's a possibility you get deported, but you will be banned from re-entering. And like you said, if you're applying for a visa, you won't get that as well. You've lost your chance of getting a visa, which to me, I think is a bit harsh.
I do, yeah.
And the other thing I don't understand is for somebody, say, in Spain that's living in the UK on the same basis, they can stay in the UK for 180 days.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
but
twice
you
as
guys
much.
can only stay for 90 days. That doesn't seem fair to me.
No, I mean there should be a reciprocal agreement.
Yeah.
But it's not up to Spain really, because it's it's part of this. It's the part of the EU, so it's the EU that's got to decide. But somebody told me that it was possible for a bilateral agreement or a reciprocal agreement between two countries, because we give 180 days in 360. And the EU give 90 in 180. I mean, it's 6 months the same. They're both 6 months, but EU is 90 days at once, and we give them 180 days at once.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they've got to be out for 180 days. And it's not really much to ask, is it? To say, give us 180 days. We're not going to be in the country more than 6 months, but we can do a 6 month stretch. And it's a lot easier to work it out. You could stop then you could come over in February and stop till October or whatever it is, 6 months from February. You could do it in one. Is it August? Okay. Oh yeah, 2 and 5. Hey, she's on the ball. So, but we can only do the 3 months. So it's not, I don't think it's much to ask to just give us that 180 in 360. Same amount of time, but more flexibility.
And as soon as you do that 90 days, you've got to wait another 90 days
Yeah.
to return again. I know obviously you can take it in smaller clumps, but a lot of people like coming out to Spain during the winter months, and they find it too hot here in the summer, which is a good idea really. But obviously, I know you can work it. I suppose that you can still get that time, but you're taking it in smaller clumps, which means obviously more flights, more messing about.
Yeah. I mean, our idea is to come twice for 3 months, and we'd ideally come sort of the back end of August, and then go back in the back end of November, go on for Christmas for the kids, the grandkids, and that, and then we won't be able to come back from it'd be November, December, January, February. We'd come back in maybe
I think probably March.
Yeah, come back in March, April, May, June. And then back home for our summer in the UK.
Stay at home June, July, and August.
That's our plan at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which should be nice. I mean, we could manage with that. That's not a problem.
Yeah. And I take it every time that you've gone through the airport, or if you've driven down, your passport's already marked, isn't it? It's not like
stamped.
Yeah. So they've already got your record as soon as you step foot on European soil, or whatever.
Yeah. Or Schengen soil. As soon as you enter Schengen, it could be France, because if you're driving and you want to spend a few, maybe a couple of weeks in France, you come on the ferry or whatever, a couple of weeks in France, then you come into Spain. If somebody thinks that it's going to start when they get to Spain, it's not. It's already started 2 weeks ago when they came to France.
I mean, this is the other thing about driving down. Obviously, I've driven down most of my time visiting Spain. It's going to be a little bit different because you've got to plan your trip a bit more, because it takes you a couple of days driving about, booking in hotels. The other thing is, if you've got pets, you still got to get your pet vaccinated when it goes back to the UK, and vice versa. So there are all additional times that you don't really want to allow for, but within those 90 days, it can be a bit of a rush.
Yeah.
And if the tunnel's shut or the ferries are cancelled for some reason, and the same as the planes, isn't it? No fault of your own, but
it would be interesting to find out if if it was a COVID problem, for example.
Yeah.
And so we got COVID-19 2 or 3 days before we flew. We wouldn't be able to fly. We'd have to stop here. Now I wonder if there'd be some sort of mitigating circumstances, that would give us a lot, would they allow for that?
They'd have to, because you've no choice, have you?
Would they still fine you?
Well, you wouldn't be able to fly. You wouldn't be allowed to fly.
You wouldn't be allowed to fly, no.
I mean, this is something else that hasn't really been discussed, really. I mean, I know when they say about if you overstay 90 days, possibility of being deported or the fine, which they haven't really said what the fine's going to be. Nothing about prison, thankfully. That's one good thing.
It's all a bit grey, I think. I don't think
it is a bit, isn't it?
Because it's so new that nobody's actually been. I don't think anyone's been prosecuted for it yet. I don't think.
I just want to scare you so people won't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Spanish. They I think they're for us. They want us to stop as long as because it's business for them. But they've got to abide by the Schengen agreement. This agreement that was signed it was written out in 1984. I think it was in June 1984. Reading about it today, and it was 5 countries: Germany, Belgium, France, and another couple, like Italy, I think. And they all decided to do this, and it was to close the borders off, so there was no borders, so that it stops all the border control. And I think it's a great idea because it turned eventually 26 countries, because by 2003 there was 26 countries in the Schengen agreement.
Right, yeah.
And it made it all into one nice, big, happy family, with no borders, except Luxembourg in the middle, which they said no, and there's borders there. But apart from that, when you look at a Schengen map, it's all, the one colour. And
Yeah.
It's free movement of people in all those countries without any border control. And that's how it started.
I mean, another thing we sort of touched on before we come onto the show was about the non-resident tax, because it's obviously going to apply not just for you guys, but obviously anybody that's got a holiday home here in Spain that wants to come over backwards and forwards. Because when I did a bit of research, it just said you can stay in Spain for a maximum of 183 days, which is 6 months, and you don't pay no tax. Well, we know that's a lie, because you do pay a tax, don't you?
Yeah. When you buy a property, obviously you pay your 10% property tax, which everybody knows about, I think. And the estate agents would tell a prospective client that you'd pay a 10% property tax. But nobody seems to tell you about the non-resident tax. It's not a lot of money, but it is there and it has to be paid. And if it's not paid, it sort of goes onto the property. And when you come to sell it, that debt stays on the property.
Plus the fine that they put on top of it.
It's fine. And if you're late paying it, you're fined again, and it goes up from 19% to 22% or whatever it is. And now that we've left Europe, we now pay 24% and not 19%. So again, but it's not much. It's not a lot of money. People don't know about it, but
it is still there.
It's still there. And to give you an idea. To give you an idea how much it is, if your properties say, well, ours, for example, we pay 59,000 for this place here, and it's based on the cadastral value of the property, which is not 59,000. Our cadastral value, I think, is about 36 or 38 or something. I can't just quite remember. And then 1.1% of that, which works out about 680 odd euros, is the taxable amount that you pay, and you pay 19% of that 689, which is the tax, which is the non-resident tax. And that's how it's worked out on 1.1% of your cadastral value. And as I say, that goes up, not this year because they're a year behind. So this year we'll be paying for 20. And in 22, we'll be paying for 21. And 21 is when we left, 1st of January or 30th of December. We then became a third country. So that's when we start paying the 24%. But because it's a year behind, it'll be 2022 before we pay the 24%. This year, our bill in November will be 19%, but that'll be the last one, and 19%. But like I say, it's small. 19% of 680, which is our taxable amount on the cadastral value of the house, it's only about £69. So we pay, when you split that, so it should be 35 euros each. I'm saying pounds, and it should be euros. 35 euros each. But the solicitor or whoever's your fiscal representative, be it a solicitor or an accountant or whatever, they fill the form out. It's called a 210, and it costs you. We pay £60 each for them to fill out that form for us because it's in Spanish. But I found out actually, I've seen the form. It's quite easy, and I think next year I might have a go at filling it out myself, and I'll save 120 euros.
Yeah, because all the details are there.
We've got
it
copies.
is in Spanish, but all the details are there, so you just copy it over.
Yeah, and you don't even have to work it out. You take it to the bank, and the bank will work it out for you. They'll just say, fill it out. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's 69 euros. That's it.
Yeah.
So it should be easy if you can be bothered.
Well, when you're saving that much money, it's worth bothering.
I think it's worth it. Yeah, 120 euros.
Yeah.
Save all you can.
Right. Okay, guys. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to knock you off a minute.
Okay.
Got things to do. You're going to come back at 10 o'clock because I no doubt there's a lot of comments there.
We've got a 6-minute break.
Going to have a cup of tea or coffee.
Yeah, I'm having a cup of tea.
Yeah, I might have a glass of water.
Have an alcohol. I'll see you later, guys. Right. Okay. So 10 o'clock, Mike and Yvonne are going to be back on. Hopefully there's some questions there in the comment. I haven't looked at the comments yet, but hopefully in the comments there'll be some questions for them at 10 o'clock. While that's going on, Yogi, you asking me some questions. One of the questions was, how much does it cost to keep up your garden. And then he's gone, how good are the local garden centres in Mazarron, and how close are they? Right, to be honest, you haven't got to worry about a lawn. I mean, I can't believe it. Some people here have got artificial grass on the lawn, so there is a maintenance that you've got to brush the grass. I've just got ours all tiled. We got some plants dotted around. Now, every now and again, we do call in a guy that prunes the big trees, because one thing you will find here, guys, everything's got prickles on it. So we get a gardener in. I think the big tree things, or the palms you want to call, I think they're about €50 each. Now, some of them, the tall palms, where the guy has to go up the tree to prune down, they can be about 100 sometimes. But maintaining the garden doesn't cost you much here, to be honest. Most of the gardens have got shingle down and things like that, and it's tiled areas for us. So I wouldn't worry too much about the garden maintenance, because you don't want to be doing it in the summer because it's just too hot. Obviously, if you've got a place that you rent out, you can have an irrigation system that comes on and does all the watering for you when you're not there. The garden centres, there's loads of garden centres around Spain. One of the things I have noticed is that plants are very, I wouldn't say very cheap, but they are very cheap. You can have lemon and orange trees and fruit trees. We got plum, lemon, and orange. We got almond tree as well. I wouldn't say we'd get much of the almond tree, but we got one almond tree. And garden centres. Well, Campersal's got his own garden centre on B. It's pretty good. And with the garden centres, you can get your logs from there, or your pellets for your pellet burner. There's one just down the road near the country club, very good one there. There's an English guy in there as well. And they sell wood, but there's loads of garden centres dotted around the Mazarron area, so you ain't got to worry about your garden, Yog. You're not going to be going out there sweating. Right, another question from Yogi. How do you go about building your social circle in Campersol? How do new expats start making new friends in Spain? And what process did you go through to build that important part of your new life in Spain? Yeah, that's very, very good, really, because I think one of the first things you want to do is once you come out to Spain is to make friends with people. Obviously, that's going to be difficult depending on where you go. I mean, if you go into a village where it's all Spanish people, and the Spanish are so most welcoming, they will welcome you in. Obviously, one of the major problems you're going to have is speaking the language. And I've made a few Spanish friends who've been fantastic. And sometimes we can't communicate very well, but we know what we're on about. I'll be honest, since I've been here in Spain, I've made more friends here in Spain than I ever did back in the UK. I don't know if it's to do with more, I think we all want to try and help each other. You know, be it if you're a single person or you're married or whatever, I walk down the street, I say hello, and hello, and then we get chatting. I mean, I got a dog, so that's a good way of getting people to chat. I mean, I'll meet up with a dog group in the morning, we have a cup of coffee, I'll do it in the evening. I mean, it's a good excuse to get a few drinks in. But yeah, it's pretty easy, Yoga. I mean, there's lots of groups as well. It all depends on where you want to move to. If you want to move to Campersal, yeah, it's probably a big expat community. There's a lot of groups that you could join. But if you wanted to go out into one of the Spanish towns or down the road in Mazarron, I'm sure it wouldn't take you long to make friends. Obviously, do a YouTube channel. That's another way of making friends. I mean, I found myself, I'm quite a shy person, to be honest. But I've found it's been quite easy walking about. I think the other reason why I chose Campersal is that when I drove into Campersal, my wife, I don't usually do things like this, but I stopped somebody and I just said to him, "What's Campersal like?" And I spoke to another person just after him, and both of them said it's the best thing they ever done in their life. And I thought that was a good way of communicating as well. And also, everybody's been so helpful. Not just, the English. We got French, German here, Belgium, loads of Belgians, and all been fantastic. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about your social life. Right, that's all the questions. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go through what's been going on in the week. So on last Monday, the Campusole Explorers went out. Not so many of us this time. Now, there was a couple of people missing from that one. There was 2 little kiddies. That was Mike and Ollie. They didn't want to come out. I don't blame them because we went into a tunnel which had bats in it. I didn't go in there. You have to go watch the video. The video's going to be out and next week. No, week after, sorry. And here's a photograph that Debbie took of some bats in the cave. And then I went down to the shopping centre. Now, this is what the shopping centre that Emma and Bob was on about in Cartagena. Now, it's just on the outskirts of Cartagena. And then we've got a James Bond coming to the premiere of on the 1st of October. I'll just go through it quickly. If you want to get some tickets, guys, people living on Campusole or the Country Club or Condado, if you go to Mab's Respite House or Best Wishes, they're selling tickets for 20 euros. Be there. We're going to miss it. There's the cinema. I did do a video today showing you where the cinema is in Total. It's not that difficult. The weather for next week, not too bad. The temperature is starting to drop, but I'm still in my shorts and my sandals. It's still really warm. And just showing you the videos I'll be doing for next week. On next Tuesday's video will be about the luxury villa. If you're especially you rich people that's want to apply for a golden visa, this is the sort of villa that you could get. And unfortunately, I was going to bring out the free expats today, but because of the James Bond movie, I've brought that out today. So I've had to put back the expats till next Thursday. So there you are. Now then, what time is it? It's just gone 10. I'm just checking if I forgot anything else. No, I've done it all. So we go straight in. We'll just take that off. We'll bring Mike and Yvonne back in. I know the screen's gone do-wally there. So here we go. So I'm going to start right at the beginning. Obviously, this has happened at 9:30. So this is Emma and Bob. They was asking about where the shopping centre was, which I showed at the beginning. So Emma, hope that's all right for you. We've got Yogi's in the house.
Hey, Yogi.
Yeah, we got John. John's got a place on the Condado. He's back in the UK. We got Kev. He's still in the UK. Good evening. Nice port. So he's been camping the past week. We got Stephen, top man. Stephen Mandy. I know they'll be watching with the kids. And KC, who's over at the moment. We've got Thomas. Good evening, Sean. We're out on the 24th of September. I'll be around, guys. If you're hanging around on you're gonna bump into me somewhere. Nurse Jim, hello, Sean. Greetings from North Wales. We got Martin. I know Martin probably got to go away. Martin, thanks for popping in. You're a top man. We got Femi in the house. Femi's like you guys. He's got a summer house here on Campusole. I think many things to discuss today. Well, top man. RV, young man, is in here. Good evening. We've got Terry Olart from Terry and Sue. I've got Paul Barrett in the house. Paul, hope you're ready for that interview, you and Jan. Sean, how are you getting into contact? How are you? We'll get in contact with you. Oh, great. Right. Which is on the 21st. I can look forward to that, you guys. Yogi, my question here for Mike and Yvonne. In a previous video of yours, you mentioned how they downsized their property in Dewsbury in order to retire early. Can you describe the process?
Well, thanks for the question, Yogi. There was a reason. The reason we downsized because I work in live events, so I didn't have any money. I'd got no money coming in, so we thought the best plan of attack was to But fortunately, my daughter was looking for a house and she wanted a 4-bedroom house, which is what we had. So we sold our house to our daughter, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And we gave her a bit of a discount, like you would do for your daughter. And but we still downsized and we bought a tiny, tiny, tiny little house in Cleckheaton. So the profit would help to see us through until my retirement, which is in August next year, when I'll be an old man and I'll be able to draw my pension. So it's just a bridging. We had to bridge that financial gap to see me through until retirement. So it was a sensible thing to do. It worked out really well because our daughter's very happy.
She's happy now.
She's got a family now, and they need a bigger house, and it was perfect, really. So that was the reason for it. Did that answer your question? What was the other part of the question? The process. Well, the process is easy. It was easy because our daughter bought the house, so there was no problems with estate agents. We had 2 estate agents, one that dealt with the sale of our house, and we had another estate agent to deal with the purchase of the house in Cleckheaton. So we paid 2 lots of solicitors. It was very simple, really. We didn't even have a survey done on the Cleckheaton house because it already had one done. And fortunately, the buyers backed out just before we bought. So they'd done everything, and then they backed out because there was a bit of damp in the house, which we knew about. And it'll probably cost us maybe £3,000 to sort it out, but we're aware of that, and we'll probably do it in time. So everything turned out really well, didn't it?
Quite a straightforward process, really, wasn't it?
And it was super quick sale. I mean, I think we bought in, when did we go and see the house? April. Like April, and by May 14th, I think it was April, May. It would have lit about 5 weeks. The whole thing had been done. We'd bought the house. So, the process was very simple, and everything worked out very well, and everybody was very, very happy, including me. And I'm only 200 yards from Wetherspoons now.
What could be better?
What more could I want?
Very good. Right, we got Angela. Looking forward to hearing about the 180-day rule, which we've talked about, but no doubt there's going to be more about that in a minute. We've got Kev. Is everyone partner on here called Jam? Mine is Sean's IS, Paul is, okay, I know Steve, but my ex is called Mandy. Yeah, there's a lot of names very similar. I do agree, Kev. Rob, who's in Oregon, from Sunny Central, good. Having his lunch. Not working too hard, Rob. We got Evening Sean, Ali, and everyone. Nice to see you, Ali. We got Julie. Good evening, everyone. That's very nice, very polite. We've got Lawrence. Hola, Sean. Thank you, Lawrence. We've got Stuart. Why can't you just do the straight 180 days, then come back? I'm sure everybody, that's what the old system was, wasn't it, Mike and Yvonne? It was 180 days.
The old system was free movement of people in Europe. So, from 1990 to last year, or December the 31st, you could stop it really as long as you wanted. Because
we didn't realise that though, did we?
No, we didn't.
Because we ended up staying for 4 months last year.
Yeah.
And we were a bit worried when we were going back.
Only because Brexit had started, though, because it didn't officially start until the 31st.
Well, it hadn't started until the end of December.
We could have stayed until the 31st of March.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We
wasn't sure how strict it was. For
the actual stamping of the passport. I mean, they didn't stamp the passports. That's why they didn't know. That's why you could stop for as long as you wanted, because they didn't stamp the passports.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
But now they do.
Now they do. Yeah. So now we can't get away with anything. But before, in 180 days, it was as long as you wanted. You could stop as long as you wanted.
But now you can't do the 180 days all in one stretch.
It is a bit confusing, that, because a lot of people think it was 180 days because of the Schengen thing. But because it was free movement of people, that meant that you could stop as long as you wanted to stop.
Yeah, I think that's why it's confusing people a bit, isn't it? Because
it is.
Do that.
Because there's countries that are not in the Schengen area, like Luxembourg, And there's countries that are in Europe that are not in Schengen, and there's countries that are in the Schengen that are not in Europe. And I think that's what the confusing thing is.
Yeah.
We've never been in the Schengen.
The UK.
The UK has never been in it. Ireland are still not in it. You know, they're not in it. Dublin, all those people, they're not in that. But they're in Europe, so they've got free movement of people, and that's why everybody wants an Irish passport now, because it's like the UK was. But it is complicated. Yeah, there's all sorts of little things. You know, if you're in, you can't go. You'd have to go to Croatia. Is it Croatia? I think they're not in it. So to do a quick trip to get out of the Schengen area, you're probably quicker going back to the UK because there's nothing any nearer than that.
Yeah, it's so confusing. Rob's back in the bonus TARDIS, Mike and Yvonne.
Whoa,
Top man. Hopefully, when they release focus on COVID and economic consequence, UK and Spanish governments will sort out this. Yes, I'm no doubt they will. Obviously, at the moment, they've still got their heads around the COVID thing. Ali, hope Spain changes its mind on this. Brexit is causing a few issues, and that includes extra charges on bank transactions, amongst others. Yes, that is another thing when you're transferring money. Make sure that the transfer company that you're using now should have a Spanish bank account. This is why I use Currencies Direct. The Spanish bank Casa didn't recognise it at first, and they were still charging it. But thankfully, Currencies Direct were full. You know, I went out of pocket. Thankfully, but anyway, it's all been sorted. But yeah, make sure that the transfer companies that you do use have got a bank stationed in Europe or Spain, because if it's not, they will keep charging. I believe if you get your pension paid in straight from your from the UK, I believe you're going to get charged for that as well. So be worth checking out with your bank before you sign any agreement with those as well, because I have heard that if you've got a UK pension being paid straight into your Spanish bank account, they will charge you. Right, who we got now? We got Stuart. I know people who have been to Portugal for 9 months continuous and they've done nothing. I think the problem is now, Stu, is that obviously the stamping your passports now. I mean, I think the day is gone where I know you can obviously drive through different countries and not probably get stopped, but obviously if you're going through France, be it the tunnel or the port, they're going to stamp your passport. And I think people have been lucky at the moment, but I'm sure within within this year, they won't be doing that anymore. But yeah, if you're lucky, you're lucky. Angela, is it correct that it's rolling? 90, I believe that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's how it starts. So as soon as you enter the country, the Schengen, so France or Spain, if you fly in, of course, you're straight to Spain. It rolls from that first day that you arrive. So when you arrive, your 180 days start. And
that's day one.
Yeah, that's day one. So, it is awkward, isn't it? Because you're sort of thinking 7 days later that you're 7 days back, and then 14 days later. If you're stopping for a month, you go home for a month, and then it sort of starts again after that month, come back. Yeah. So depending on how long you've been there, and you go back for the same amount of time, you're back to square one. That's the best way I look at it. Come for 7 days, go home for 7 days, you're back to square one again. So your 180 days starts from there. If you go for 3 months, you go home for 3 months, and then you come back and you starts again from that day. You come back the first day you enter the country, or the Schengen, or Spain in this case. So yeah, it rolls.
Yeah,
it rolls. You're gonna roll with it, and that there's something else. Roll with.
Anyway, Neil, top man, pretty much. We got Lawrence. UK is hell bent on P of the Europe EU. P on P, whatever that is. Don't forget the thumbs up. Yeah, top lady, my top supporter.
I've just done it, Sean.
And someday soon, he's a top man because he said he's bought me a coffee. Well, I am parched. I got my Fanta tonight, but yeah, thank you very much. SK, which is Steve. Good evening, guys. Thank you, Steve. Yogi's in the house again. Mike, 19%
Yeah.
over. Yeah. Well,
90%.
Yogi, you
That is
worked it
correct.
out.
But
Yeah.
we were talking about 69 each. You would have, I'm saying 69. It could have been, what was Arthur's from 20? 68 each. That's each, Yogi. So 2 of that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right.
Because we're
right.
joint owners.
We're joint owners.
Yes. Thank you, Yogi. It's nice to have them on the show. Mike, I've signed the petition. Well done, Yogi. You've obviously been watching our videos as well.
I think
that's finished.
At the time of that petition was a little bit. We didn't really realise at that time. I don't think that petition was any good, to be honest with you. It's a bit of a shame. Everybody wanted that to happen. I think the only way forward is to get a bilateral agreement between Spain and the UK to change that 90-day rule to 180-day rule, the same as we give them. I think that's the only way forward, not through a petition to the government, because it just won't work. So we need the politicians to get sorted out.
Yeah, another one that signed that petition, but well done, Ali.
Yeah.
Right, Clive, we sat in Liz's cafe, got chatting to a few people, made friends with them. We all ended up going out for a meal. Yes, see, that's what it's all about, isn't it? You're in a cafe, and I know Mike and Yvonne have done the same. That they've gone down to the local. You make loads of friends here, don't you? Really, guys? Don't you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, especially now that we're doing YouTube. You know, sort of we meet a lot more people than we used to do, and it's great. We love it, you know, to see people and people come up to us and
say, "Oh, we've been watching you."
Yeah, it's great, and you know, we're making loads of friends, so we're really happy about that. We've got nice neighbours and people that we know in bars and restaurants that we go to. So yeah, it's great. We just love it.
Everybody's friendly.
Photographs yet?
No, but
we've had a selfie.
We had a selfie today. Yeah. We were set in 100 Montesinos. Is it what they call
100 Montesinos.
Is it Montevitos?
100
mountains in Spain. Monteditos, yeah. And this fella came up to us wanting a selfie. You know, it's all alien to us. You know,
he was looking for a place, wasn't he, around here?
He is looking for a place. Yeah.
Anyway, I've got to put my thumbs up here because I've got 101 people watching now, so that's pretty good. We're back up the game. All right, Malcolm and Carol, Eden Shaw, very interested in listening to Mike and Yvonne. Also, you as well. Oh, thank you very much. Hope to meet you soon. Thank you, guys. We've got Alan, Mike and Yvonne. I would love if you could give us a rough estimate on when you stay for a few months, what your bills, water. Okay, so what would be your sort of monthly charges while we're in Spain then, guys?
When we're here, compared to the UK, it's very, very well. It's a fraction of what we pay in the UK. So I would say we've got a internet that's €20 a month. We've got the electric, probably about, what do you think, €60 a month, maybe 65.
Maybe a bit more.
We just got a 15% discount today on the electric as well, because we went down to the shop, what the DIY
Merlin,
shop, Merlin thingy.
Somebody Merlin.
The do-it-yourself
We're
shop.
doing a show now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are actually. Yeah. And we got a 15% discount. We signed up for another deal, so we got 15% off for the next 4 months. So that's good. So the electric bill about say about 65, internet 20. You don't have to have that, of course, but that we've got that. Water's peanuts, isn't it?
It's
cheap,
like very cheap.
I don't know, 15 a month maybe. Then you've got the council tax.
That's a lot cheaper than the UK.
You've one big bill of 150 and two smaller bills of about 25, 30. So you know, if you divide it all up, I think we do. And we've got the community charge, which is 100. It's 87 twice, so it's 174 for the year. We've got a pool, which we hardly use actually, but we've got a pool and we've got street sweepers. So that's only 187. So it's
and then food shopping. We
Well,
usually find, I mean,
yeah.
obviously your beer and gin and stuff like that's a lot cheaper.
it's a lot cheaper. Yeah, €6.
Some of the food's about the same price, isn't it, as
Yeah.
UK, but
Generally, it's
It's
cheaper,
not
isn't
bad,
it? We've
but-
just been to Mercadona today, haven't we? Now
Yeah.
it were £40 and
€49.
€49, and
yeah.
we had a big, massive
We have 4 bottles of wine.
4 bottles of
Pernod,
wine. Pernod.
beer.
And obviously, you go out eating a lot as well, don't you? You go out, have
We-
a meal.
No, we don't. We're not. We don't go out too
We
much.
don't
really.
go mad going out.
We go out on a weekend, don't we? Saturday
Yeah.
night, Sunday. We go for Sunday lunch somewhere. But I'm editing most of the time, you know.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time editing. So
I'm cooking.
yeah, cooking and editing. It's a lot cheaper, isn't it? You buy a beer. You can get beer at Lidl's for like
Oh, it's so
20
cheap.
pence. It's everything's
Yeah.
cheap, really. Food.
Yeah.
Some things are probably a little bit the same as UK, but I wouldn't think there's anything really more than the UK.
No.
But as far as the bills are concerned, I reckon I think €1,000 a year would cover all our bills. I think.
Yeah, when we're here and when we're not here altogether.
Yeah, well, on average, I
Yeah,
would
on
say
average, yeah.
we don't spend more than €1,000 on everything. It's probably less than that. I'd have to work it out, but if you watch, we've done a video about it. So if you
Yeah.
watch that video, it's somewhere in there. Right there.
That's a good
It
idea.
goes
I
into
mean,
detail about the whole thing.
guys, please check out their channel. They've done loads of things like that. I mean, that was interesting that you said 1,000 a year.
Yeah, well, you see, we are tight.
Yeah. I mean, I do 1,000 a month. I mean, I'm talking about £1,000, so we get about 1,200 a month plus. But then we got a bigger property in you,
Yeah,
and we got a car. When you guys, you got your bike, so
Yeah.
there's a bit of difference there. But you can, like you said, you can live it in Spain a
You can
lot
live
cheaper.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When we
Yeah.
come here, we're saving money from being at home because we're saving on the UK electric, the UK gas, the
It's-
community. Well, we're not saving on
It's
community
like for the
charge.
council tax.
I cancelled my TV license as well.
Yeah, while we're away.
I've cancelled the BBC TV license because we don't watch the BBC. We don't watch a lot of TV here, and that saves us. It's not a lot. It's about £15 a month.
Yeah.
So if we're here for 3
Actually,
months,
it's more.
it's,
It's about £21 or something.
so yeah, it's about 50 quid every time we come out. We
Yeah.
save 50 quid. So,
So it's worth saving.
but we are very tight. We're from Yorkshire, and we don't spend a lot of money, do we?
I'm not saying nothing. Rob, he said it was too. Oh God, weather's changing then, Rob.
2 seconds.
So do-
Wow, where's that?
Where?
Where's Rob?
He's in Oregon,
Ah.
US, but he's had some really hot weather. Obviously,
Yeah.
the weather's on the change now. So that's from Femi to you guys.
Hi,
Mike
Fem.
Yvonne.
Hi.
We got Ola, good evening all, says Norman. Great evening, Sean. Greetings from Belgium. Nice to see you guys. Nice to get a bit of a mixture around the world. Mike and Yvonne, not far from you in
Oh, yeah,
Queensbury.
Oh,
Yeah, we know Queensbury.
Very well,
Right.
Queensbury.
Cheer sometime. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, lovely.
Steve, even Sean, Steve and Jean here, late as usual. Never too late, Steve. Always good to see you. Can you describe a typical day in Spain for you both? Is it difficult from the UK? Of course it's different.
Yeah, it's warmer. I mean, it's so laid back here. That's the thing. In fact, we were talking about it with Sean the other day when we did the interview that we should watch. If you watch the interview, you'll see what we were talking about. And that was we never knew what time it was. We never knew what day it was. I've got a watch that tells me what day it is.
Tells you how many steps you've done.
Tells me how many steps I've done. It tells me how long I've been sat down for. It doesn't tell me how many beers I've had. But it tells me everything else. But I don't know what day it is half of the time. I just don't take a lot of notice. And I don't really care what day it is because I'm happy.
Life's a lot slower, isn't it, here?
A lot slower.
A
Yeah,
lot more chill.
it's great. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time here. Now that as I say, I'm not officially retired, but because I've got no work, I might start getting it in now. But I'm so used to not doing anything after 2 years of no work that I think I've just about done it now.
Yeah.
I've done.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a lot more doing nothing. I love doing nothing. You know, I do as little as is humanly possible.
That's your motto.
That's my
isn't it?
motto. Yeah, and I enjoy myself. So there we go.
So we got Ralph, hello, Sean. Hoping to pop it over in a month or so to look at Barnum Campus. So it's been 2 years of research. Best of luck, guys. Safe journey over as well. Norman, you can stay for 180 days in Portugal.
Yeah, there is something about Portugal. I don't know what it is, but I have heard. I heard.
I heard this before end of last year that Portugal was saying about 180 days. Obviously, I can't say that because I don't know anybody that's in Portugal, but I believe that was some deal that they've done. But I'd be interested to know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know, do we?
No.
So Stuart's saying it's a town in Luxembourg, which
it is
pretty convenient.
Yeah, Shenzhen is in South Luxembourg. It's the town in 1984 in July where they signed the agreement, and that's why they call it the Schengen. Whether it's Shenzhen or Schengen, I say Shenzhen, but that's where the agreement was signed in 1985 or 84. 85. Yeah, he was signed.
So Derek's saying, great to see Yvonne and Mike. Love the electric bike tools that you've been doing, guys. Obviously got a bit of a following now on the bike riding.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
We love us bikes, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got a new battery.
Yeah.
We got. I can't even pronounce that one, but it's from Dubai. So I've got to say, big thumbs up. You got SMA Spain as a progressive tax on private pensions would be great to touch on that. Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm going to keep off the tax because to me it's just so confusing. Unfortunately, and I know I'm sure there's other people. I bet a person that would speak on that as Spain speaks for Stuart. He's probably got a more. But for me, talking about private pensions and taxes, just a nightmare. Love the video, the statue dedicated to the COVID victims. Well done, Mike Yvonne. Yes, well done, guys.
Yeah, all of that.
Very emotional, actually, just to see it.
Just to see it.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, where we are in Mazarron, in the actual town itself, you find a lot of wall art around the place. Amazing wall paintings that they've been doing. They did one of a nurse. Yeah, lot of respect for those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the continuing costs? What are the continuing costs of your property when you're not living in Spain?
Right. Okay. We still pay I don't need to, but I still pay the €20 internet. Now I could have it turned off, and it cost me €35 a month
when
we're here. But if I might reconsider what we're going to do there, because.
But wouldn't there be a connection fee for that?
Yeah, well, you can either pay 35 a month and you can have it turned on and off at no cost, but you pay 35 months, €35 when it's on, or you can pay just €20 and forget about it, which is what we're doing. The other cost is with a standing charge for electric, which is for some reason, it's between 18 and €23. I don't know why it changes, but it does. And waters, we still pay a little bit of water standing charge, which is not much. It's really small. We still obviously pay the community charges. They're still there at 170 a year.
And the council.
The council tax 150, and the other two at 40 each or something. We still have to pay them.
And then the non-resident tax.
And the non-resident tax. They're all mandatory bills that we've got to pay.
Insurance.
Yeah, and insurance. It's a good idea to have insurance. We insure through MAPFRE, which is that's 185, I think, which is quite expensive actually. We could probably do with looking around and getting somebody cheaper. We're paying probably through the nose for the insurance, but it's a good company. So when you're not there, you think, well, let's have a good company looking after the place for us. So I'm quite happy to pay that for the moment.
And then we still pay bank charges, don't we?
Oh, that's the worst.
Bank account.
Yeah, non-resident. Because it's a non-resident account at the bank, you do get paid. You do get charged a lot more we pay €40 a quarter. So when you work that out, that's 160 a year bank charges, which is expensive, isn't it?
Lot,
You don't pay that in the UK. If you're a resident, I don't know, Sean will tell you better than I can, but I'm sure you won't pay that much, Sean, for your bank charges. If you're non-resident, you're a different set of rules, and it's £160 a year, but euros. What do you pay, Sean? For you might not know, but,
I'm with CasaBank, and they put up the charges at the beginning of this year. I think it was €35 a quarter, so every 3 months we pay.
Right, so it's not much different.
No, not much difference really. I mean, to be honest, what we get for it, other than obviously we have, every time we use a machine and things like that, we're supposed to get charged. Like it did in the UK in the old days when you had to pay bank charges.
Yeah.
Why Spain does it, I don't know, to be honest. I think they make enough money out of us anyway, but that's the way it is, unfortunately, in Spain.
Banks make a lot more money than they do in the UK. They charge a lot more than they do in the UK. So
we've got Aid. He's saying, "Hi, Sean. Has been handy listening to Mike Yvonne experiences and advice on getting in and out of Europe. Lots of red tape. Yes, it certainly is. That's open to that Brexit thing. Mike Yvonne, are you thinking about getting a car in Spain?"
No,
not yet.
No, we like the bikes, don't we?
Yeah,
keeps us fit.
We could use buses if we want to go further afield.
Yeah, so we have rented cars in Spain. When Yvonne's sister comes with her husband, we get a car and we pick them up from the airport, and then we drive about in it for a couple of weeks, take them back to the airport, and then we get a bus back here. So we have had cars in the past. They have gone up, I think, as well, quite a lot. I remember when we first came over, it was something like €60 for a week.
Cheap,
really cheap, yeah.
A lot more now.
Now
and then
it's
the
like
insurance is
180
always
something.
expensive, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, them flashing lights.
Oh, yeah.
It's 10 now, so I'm gonna whip through these questions now before I shut down, because there's still quite a few to go through. We got next from Sydney, Australia. It's obviously early in the morning for those guys. We got RV. He's just saying, nice to see you. Yvonne and Mike. I nearly said it wrong then.
Right, RV.
Oh, from Sydney. Yes, well done, Craig. Thank you very much. We got Mike and Yvonne. Didn't buy you a coffee because you seem to prefer a happy hour beer. But love the Saturday video. Well done, guy. By the way, my wife is from Halifax, and we're trying to convince her that Spain is the place to go. May need Yvonne to speak to her.
Yes.
You have to go to convince her. David, I Sean visited Campbell for the first time about 6 weeks ago. Moving there next year. Great place, so friendly. Thank you, Dave. So I might see you around soon. You never know. David, what is right? What is their YouTube channel? And there it is underneath this video.
It is.
Going along there. Between the Legs with Mike and Yvonne. It's coming up again now. Dave, if you're still watching us, it's saying here it comes, YouTube channel, Between the Legs with Mike and Yvonne. So Dave, hope you forgot that. So Thomas is saying when we're not there, they only pay €3. I think each internet company's got their own special deals. I know here on Camp de Sol, I think CompuServe do the same sort of thing. They don't charge, but I know a lot of them do charge a connection charge. Adios amigos, back to work now. Rob, don't overdo it.
So you're Rob from Oregon?
Who keeps an eye on your property when you're not there? Have you got any security company looking after your apartment?
No,
with people living underneath.
Yeah, the great thing about where we are, we've got people below, people at the side, people at both sides, people underneath, people above, people over there.
There's nobody above.
And we've got dogs everywhere, so it's
nobody above.
It's safe, really. And we've got a nice insurance company, so we're happy, aren't we? We're safe.
Yeah, but there's still nobody above.
There's God above. God above.
Right, okay.
He's and Steve is saying if you get home insurance, which is very true. If you get your home insurance through your bank, you can get free banking. So something to think about.
Right.
Now I know that.
We'll look into that.
Yeah, Steve's with Casablanca, so yeah, worth looking at that. Okay, Mike Yvonne, sorry, not tuned into your channel. Whereabouts you stay in Spain? They're up at Costa Blanca near Torrevieja, which is not too far away, Steve. And we will be living there full time in the future. Well done. I think that's about it. Yes, well done, Femi.
Good question. Which call between
Anyway,
the legs
guys,
because it's between the legs.
I'm gonna sign off now because it's gone past my bedtime now. I want to thank very much to Yvonne and Mike for coming on tonight. It sounds like a lot of people were interested about the 90-day thing, which is most appreciated. And I just want to say big thank you to you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. Sure. I'm going to put on the end of the thingy now. I'm going to find it. Where is it? This is the ending part.